I didn't steal money. I didn't break the law. But I made one decision that removed my mother from my life. It happened without shouting, without drama, without a single raised voice. Just a pen, a document, and a calm conversation. That's what scares me the most. Evil didn't announce itself. It arrived politely. I remember thinking I was being responsible. I remember believing love required sacrifice. The man beside me spoke slowly, carefully, like someone who had done this many times before. He said this was temporary. He said my mother would thank me later. She trusted me completely. That trust became the door everything walked through. Because when someone trusts you fully, they never imagine you could harm them. That morning, my mother squeezed my hand and smiled. She told me she was proud of me. Minutes later, I signed her freedom away. My mother raised me alone. Not loudly, not dramatically, not with endless speeches about sacrifice. She raised me through consistency. Through showing up. Through doing what needed to be done even when nobody noticed. She worked as a city records clerk for most of her life. A quiet job filled with forms, stamps, and patient explanations. She believed in order. In paperwork. In systems. She trusted that if you followed rules, rules would protect you. I grew up watching her believe that. I absorbed it without question. So when she started slowing down, when her steps became careful and her memory hesitated, fear entered me quietly. Not panic. Fear disguised as responsibility. I didn't want to fail her. I didn't want to be unprepared. I wanted to do everything correctly. That desire made me easy to guide. I met Kevin in a waiting room. He wasn't charming in the way movies describe. He was reassuring. Measured. The kind of man who spoke like problems had solutions and solutions had procedures. He asked questions nobody else asked. He listened longer than required. When he learned I was caring for my mother alone, his voice softened. He said nobody should carry that weight without support. He offered resources. Contacts. Advice that sounded thoughtful, not intrusive. He explained systems the way my mother used to. That familiarity felt like safety. Over time, I stopped making decisions alone. Not because he demanded control. Because he made control feel unnecessary. Kevin suggested legal guardianship one afternoon. He framed it as protection. As something proactive people did before emergencies happened. He said it prevented confusion. He said it kept strangers from making choices for us. I hesitated. My mother hesitated longer. But she looked at me. And I nodded. That was all it took. She trusted me more than any document. She signed because I smiled. Because I said it was only precaution. Because I said I would never hurt her. After that day, her voice grew quieter. I noticed. I also ignored it. Once guardianship was approved, small changes followed. Appointments required confirmation. Conversations happened through Kevin. Decisions came with explanations about stress and stability. He told me my emotions were understandable but risky. He said distance would help my mother adjust. He said involvement could confuse her. Each sentence sounded reasonable. Each step felt minor. Weeks passed. Then more weeks. I visited less. When I hesitated, Kevin reminded me how overwhelmed I'd been before. He said I was healthier now. He said I deserved peace. Believing him meant I didn't have to confront guilt. The day I tried to visit unannounced, the security guard stopped me. He checked his list. Checked again. Then shook his head. My name wasn't there. He asked if I had authorization. I laughed, thinking it was a mistake. It wasn't. My access had been removed. Updated. Approved by someone else. I called Kevin immediately. He sounded calm. He said that was how transitions worked. He said I should have told him first. That word stayed with me. Told him. Days passed without answers. Messages were delayed. Calls were returned politely, slowly, carefully. I started doubting myself. Maybe I was overreacting. Maybe this was normal. That doubt became my cage. Friends told me to push harder. Kevin warned me pushing would damage trust. I still wanted to be seen as reasonable. As cooperative. As well. A nurse called me by mistake one afternoon. Her voice dropped when she realized who I was. She said my mother asked for me every morning. She said my mother believed I had chosen distance. Someone had explained my absence as intentional. I felt something break inside me. Because silence had been used as evidence. That night, I searched public records. Buried beneath amendments and filings, I found his name again. Not listed as advisor. Not listed as support. Listed as beneficiary. That's when understanding arrived fully formed. This wasn't care. It was positioning. And I had helped. I stood alone realizing something irreversible. I hadn't lost my mother suddenly. I had surrendered to her gradually. With trust. With good intentions. With my own hands. And the worst part was knowing this story didn't begin with cruelty. It began with love. The end. Watch episode 2. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the story, give us a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. Hit the notification bell to stay updated. And check out our playlist for more. Your support means everything to us.